Alienware AW2725DF versus the ASUS ROG XG27AQDMG. And the real question is whether the faster, pricier one earns that money for you. Because 360 Hz sounds better than 240 until you look at what else changes. Different panel types, different text on your desktop, different behavior in a bright room. Pay more for speed you barely feel, and it's wasted money. By the end, you'll know which one fits your setup. Let's break it down. So let's start where most of you are actually deciding, which is how these feel in a fast shooter when you're tracking someone across the screen. The Alienware runs at 360 Hz with a 0.03 millisecond response, and the ASUS sits at 240 Hz with that same near-instant pixel response. Both are ridiculously fast, and honestly, if you play mostly single-player stuff, you will not feel that gap. But if you're pushing high frame rates in Valorant or CS, the extra motion clarity on the Alienware is there, and people coming from 240 Hz LCDs describe it as noticeably cleaner. One thing to know before you buy, thuff. That 360 Hz only comes over DisplayPort because over HDMI, the Alienware tops out at 144 Hz at 1440. If you were planning to hook a console to it, that headline number isn't yours. The ASUS has its own version of that limit, since its HDMI ports don't carry 240 Hz either. Both handle variable refresh rate fine, with the Alienware on FreeSync Premium Pro and the ASUS on G-Sync compatible. Speed sorted, the bigger everyday difference is what you're actually looking at. The Alienware uses a QD-OLED panel, the ASUS a glossy 3rd generation W-OLED, and that changes the character of the image more than any spec. The ASUS pushes harder in HDR, with peak brightness rated at 1300 nits, and owners consistently say HDR is where it shows off. The catch is the glossy finish. In a dark room, it looks like glass, but people with a window or a lamp behind them describe it as almost mirror-like. Meanwhile, the Alienware is the more balanced picture overall, certified for display HDR True Black 400 with 99.3% DCI-P3 coverage, and plenty of owners call the color accuracy the best they've seen. Its weak spot is the same one as the ASUS. In a bright room, it can look darker than you expect coming from an LCD. Where it falls short is full screen brightness, not those punchy highlights. But most of you aren't gaming 8 hours a day, so text matters. This one surprised me because the ASUS advertises clearer text as a selling point of its newer W-OLED panel, and yet the loudest complaint in owner reviews is text fringing on the desktop. One buyer specifically said Windows apps like Word and Excel were fine, but Chrome websites got annoying enough that they returned it. The Alienware isn't perfect either, since QD-OLED subpixels do their own thing with text, but its owners describe adjusting clear type and sharpness and then moving on. If you split your day between gaming and spreadsheets, the Alienware is the safer pick for your eyes. That leads straight into living with an old long term. Both come with 3 years of coverage that includes burn-in, which is the real reassurance here. Both also run pixel refresh cycles, and both take about the same few minutes. The difference is how they nag you. The ASUS prompts you when it's time, while one Alienware owner pointed out that this model doesn't remind you, so you're the one tracking it every few hours, which they found annoying. The ASUS adds anti-flicker tech and a uniform brightness setting, which is a nice touch for desktop work. My one worry on the ASUS side is service, because among people who actually had to file a claim, the experience comes up negatively more often than it should. And on the Alienware, inspect the panel the moment it arrives, since fine scratches out of the box turn up more than once in owner reports, which brings us to what you're paying. The Alienware is the more expensive of the two, and that money buys you the higher refresh rate, the QD-OLED panel, a fully adjustable stand with height, tilt, swivel, and pivot, plus a USB-C hub with a Type-C port for your peripherals. There's an opinion about the Alienware that captures the appeal. It handles competitive and casual gaming equally well, with deep blacks and colors that make big single-player games look great and motion clear enough for serious shooters. There are old quirks to accept, but I don't feel like I sacrificed anything. The ASUS costs quite a bit less, and it gets there without giving up the panel, since you still get the glossy OLED, 99% DCI-P3, and the burn-in coverage. What you give up is the refresh rate, USB-C, and a built-in KVM. So if you're switching between a work laptop and a gaming PC, that's a real gap. Neither has speakers, by the way, so plan your audio separately either way. Here's the call. For most of you, I'd take the Alienware because it wins the two things you'll live with every day. Cleaner motion when frames are high, and text you can actually read for hours without fighting it. That said, if you mostly play single player and want HDR that punches, the ASUS gives you nearly the same panel quality for less money. And in a dark room, that glossy finish is stunning. But if you sit across from a window or a lamp, I'd skip it because those reflections don't go away. And if you're plugging in a work laptop next to your gaming PC, the Alienware's USB-C hub settles it. And you, which one would you pick? Let me know in the comments. Links below in the description.